Before my first reading, I was searching, lost. Since my reading with Sondra, I have much more confidence. I have gone on a journey of self-exploration that has brought me back to myself. So my own beingness has been found through this work. I've never been moved by any other readings before. Also, what I loved about the reading was that she knew things about me, my family, my father, my relationship with my mother, how it impacted who I am. I think we're all searching to find out who we really are and what we're here to do. And if you're one of those people who feel like you want to know who are you and why are you here and why do you keep repeating the same mistakes that you repeat over and over and over again, even if you may not know what they are, but I'm going to tell you, when you have a reading with God through Sondra, you will know. And in that knowing, you can change who you are and become so much more who you were meant to be.
I would say that the one word that comes to me is transformative. I probably had 5 or 6 readings. They've transformed my life, really. I'm an acupuncturist, and it really did shift the way I work. I feel like God saw me. You know, to feel really seen by God, I mean, that's revelatory. I do feel like God saw my essence and gave it back to me.
The very first reading I did with Sondra was kind of an anomaly for me. I don't go to other people. I've been on the path for 38 years myself. And so to find within my own consciousness the information that I'm looking for, that was my go-to source. And so when I heard about Sondra and opened myself to have a reading, which must have been divinely inspired, the information I received really told me very deeply what I knew I was doing, bringing forth the information about the Christ consciousness to make it manifest within the world. And because Sondra knew that, I knew that she really had a source tap that would really be helpful in everything that I was going to be doing. Before, I knew, of course, there was a source being that we would call God, and was always looking to find a relationship with that. When I met Sondra, she actually gave me a feeling of a living being that could now begin to breathe and be known and sensed within the very fiber of my body. To actually have the doorway open where you receive information about how you can move to possibility and make it a reality is what she gives you in each and every reading.
I've been on a spiritual path for at least 15 years. Very focused, very intense, very passionate, but in a way my path had become the same. Thanks to Sondra, I'm focusing more and more on my own work, which I hadn't fully understood, which turns out to be writing. And so now I am moving into be an amazing writer. I love what I write, and I'm starting to share what I write, which I would not have done before Sondra's readings. I wouldn't have had the courage, I wouldn't have had the insight, I wouldn't have understood clearly who I really am. I'm connecting more and more at a very deep level with God, with Source intelligence. And it's beginning to flow through me. When I read what I've written, I am amazed and delighted, recognizing these are my words, but at such a deep level that I experience a greater meaning as I read what I write. I listen again and again to the recording, and each time I hear more, and each time it prepares me more for what's coming in my life and helps me strengthen kind of consciousness that can come through her and be so supportive of me individually. It's just such a treasure.
My very first reading, I was in my office. The information that was coming through was clear and directed to get my attention. And I felt clearly that God was speaking to me over the phone and said that I needed to move on with my life, that my energy was stuck. Some of the facts that were revealed to me. This gives me goosebumps, actually. God felt that I needed to see in black and white what was going on. So I hired a private investigator and saw pictures and video The difficulty has just been adjusting to a new way of life, and it's also been exciting to try to adjust to a new way of life and to take steps more strongly in who I am. I love to go to sleep at night because that energy is all gone. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm in me. I feel way more connected to God. And that, without that reading, it was the catalyst for me to move into who I am. I feel very, very grateful and blessed to have had the experience.
The very first reading that I had from Sondra, I was given some information that helped to clarify who I am in the world, because I didn't understand that. And other people in the world wanted me to fit into kind of a box. And I realized, because of the reading, because of the information that I got in the reading, that I don't fit in a box, and that is a good thing. First of all, there was this acknowledgement of me. It was all about my strengths and who I can be in the world. Not who I was showing up as at the time, but who I can really be.